Hey everyone, today we're taking a deep dive into a question many of us have probably asked ourselves at one point or another. Why is lobster so expensive? From seafood markets to fancy restaurants, lobster often comes with a hefty price tag. But what is it that makes this crustacean so costly? Let's dive into the fascinating history, biology, and economics behind the lobster industry to find out. Let's start with a little history. Believe it or not, lobster wasn't always a luxury food. In the 17th and 18th centuries, lobster was so abundant along the New England coast that it was considered a poor man's protein. It was cheap and was often fed to prisoners, servants, and even used as fertilizer for crops. In fact, laws were even passed to prevent feeding lobster to prisoners more than a few times a week, as it was seen as a form of cruelty. But things started to change in the 19th century when canning technology allowed lobster to be preserved and shipped inland. By the 20th century, lobster had transformed from a cheap food into a gourmet item, valued for its rich flavor and unique texture. Now let's look at the biology of the lobster. Did you know that lobsters are slow-growing creatures? They take anywhere from 5 to 7 years to reach market size, and some can live up to 100 years. They also only grow by molting, which is a vulnerable time for them. Each time they molt, they shed their entire exoskeleton, making them soft and easy prey for other animals. This slow growth and high risk make it more challenging and costly to harvest them. Lobster fishing is not your typical catch. Fishermen use specialized traps called lobster pots to catch them, which require a lot of skill and patience. Fishermen also have to contend with strict regulations, which limit the number and size of lobsters that can be legally caught. These laws are essential to prevent overfishing and help keep lobster populations sustainable, but they also mean fewer lobsters make it to market. Plus, there's the physical and economic toll. Lobster fishing can be dangerous work, and fishermen need to be fairly compensated for the risks and skill involved. This all adds to the cost. Climate change is another factor that's driving up lobster prices. Warming ocean temperatures are changing where lobsters can live and reproduce. In regions like the Gulf of Maine, water temperatures have been rising, which has affected lobster populations. As lobsters migrate to cooler waters, fishermen have to travel farther, which adds fuel and labor costs, ultimately driving up the price you pay at the market. As lobster transformed into a delicacy, demand increased dramatically, especially during the summer months, holidays, and special events. There's also an international market for lobster, with countries like China and Japan becoming major consumers in recent years. This rise in global demand strained supply, pushing prices even higher. And don't forget that transporting live lobsters is expensive. They require specialized packaging and fast shipping to ensure they stay fresh, especially for long distances. Let's not forget the impact of recent events. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the lobster industry faced major disruptions. Restaurants and suppliers had to scale back, and many fishermen temporarily halted operations. As demand fluctuated and supply chains struggled, the cost of lobster spiked. While things are stabilizing, the effects of these disruptions still linger, making lobster prices less predictable. So, will lobster always be expensive? The answer is maybe. If lobster populations remain healthy and the industry finds more sustainable and efficient practices, prices could stabilize. But factors like climate change, global demand, and economic shifts will keep influencing the market. The bottom line is that lobster's high price is a result of biology, regulation, environmental challenges, and the unique place it holds as a delicacy. Whether it will remain a luxury food is uncertain, but for now, each lobster you enjoy has a lot of factors behind its price tag. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of why lobster is so expensive. Next time you see it on the menu or in a market, hopefully, you'll have a new appreciation for everything that goes into that price. Be sure to like, Subscribe and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.